Parrots are my bliss, and today I'm just going to share some of my journey with you, my parrot journey. Yes, parrots are my bliss. I have 18 species of parrots, and I just can't get enough. Like, I can't get enough of pictures, I can't get enough of spending time with them, and of learning about parrots. That's why I am all about sharing my bliss so that hopefully you can have bliss with your parrot. Because I don't know if you've seen that cute little Simpsons cartoon that's going around on social media where Ralphie is being thrown back in a window into the Simpsons house, and it reads, I was kidnapped last night, but I talked about parrots for 2 hours straight, and I'm like, it's more like 22. So my kidnappers returned me. I'm like, that's me. My daughter saw it, and she's like, Mom, look, this is you. So I believe that bliss comes through a good diet, through spending time bonding with your parrot, and understanding a parrot's nibbly perspective. Today, I thought I would just share my journey. I actually attempted a couple videos earlier and they didn't work. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to talk about what's going on with me. The nibbler here is nibbling away. One of the first things is this little nibbler. This is my lineated parakeet, and she is doing well. I think she's a she. But it's kind of funny. When I got her at the exotic bird store, she was a little thin, and when I touch her bone right here, it still feels a little thin. Actually, I don't think it's too bad. She has gained 4 to 6 grams, depending on, when you weigh them, right? When they eat, they weigh more, of course. So I feel like she's doing well, but it's the weirdest thing. I've never had this experience happen before. I have 18 species now. I have worked with other species. I've had other species. So I don't know how many, I am feeling comfortable with, how many I know, how many I've handled. But in all of the parrots I've ever known and everything, I've never had one that would eat her vegetables, but would really not eat seeds or pellets. I can't get this little girl to eat anything except vegetables. It sounds like a really good problem, but I do need her to be able to eat something that I don't have to put fresh vegetables in every couple hours, so that if I go somewhere for a little while, for 4 hours or 6 hours, she's not starving. And I do want her to get some of the fat that's going to come in the seeds. Hi, nibbler. All of my parrots refer to me or think of me as the feeder. So for example, my baby Cape parrot, Paloma, when she flies to my husband or to my daughter, she lets them pet her or whatever. She engages with them. When she flies to me, it's nibble, nibble, just like this. Feed me, feed me, feed me. And right now, Ari here, my Linny, is asking me to feed her because I don't have vegetables in her cage because I put pellets and seeds in. I'm going, it's been 3 or 4 days. I think this is day 4. And she has to start to eat a little bit of some other things. I'm feeling good. She's been home for 3 days. It's not like she doesn't eat, but it's time to get her to push her a little to eat some other things like pellets. Although I am not the #1 fan of pellets, I am a pretty strong believer that pellets are a core part of a really good diet for a parrot. And one of the reasons I think that is because I understand, I did some research as to all the vitamins and minerals a parrot should eat every day. And the list was I'm going, oh my goodness. I don't see how I could possibly figure out what, the list of vegetables I would have to offer my parrot for them to get all of the vitamins and minerals. And then how do I make sure they had enough bites of broccoli or enough bites of garbanzo beans or whatever it is? So I think that trying to get the perfect diet doesn't work for me. I don't know if it works for other people. I know a lot of people do a natural diet. It doesn't work for me. The other thing that really convinced me is I've had a couple of my avian vets say that once people started feeding pellets, once pellets were introduced into the market, avian vets stopped seeing parrots as often and with so many health issues. In other words, the pelleted diet made them healthier. So I'm a strong believer in the vegetables too, but I do really want her to get on some pellets. Good job. Look at you. You're trying to get those feathers to fly. Ah, okay. Yes. Let's get a baby wipe. So that's what's going on with her. I'm really trying to start to force her to shift some of her diet. The other thing that happened today is I really have tried to maintain an open door policy with my Cape parrots. I love my Cape parrots. They're very unique. They're tropical parrots from the African continent as opposed to neotropical parrots from the New World. The Latin American parrots, so to speak, those are going to be neotropical, like my Linny here and my parrotlet who you hear. Do you hear that chirping? That's her. But anyway, the Cape Parrots, I love them. They are definitely one of my favorite species. They're one of my favorite 18 kinds of species, but they are starting to get in trouble. Paloma was biting on an electrical cord. Oh, so I'm having to step back from my open door policy. I hate it. I like to see them fly around. Now, it's interesting. Some of my parrots, like my Hans macaw, Emerald, or my orange-winged Amazon, Tico, they just hang out. My yellow-naped Amazon as well, but she doesn't fly. So Tico and Emerald, the Hans and the Amazon, they can fly. Actually, Ursula's my Mexican red-headed too. But they tend to stay in their perch areas. It's I don't know how, but they know where it's like, this is your bird area. Don't come over here. Don't be on the cabinets above the kitchen. Don't go near electrical cords. So I'm disappointed about that. I'm really disappointed. They also go on top, the Capes, they go on top of the fan in the living room. And the fan hasn't been on, which, if you don't know, you have to be really careful if you have parrots. You can't have, if your fan's going really fast, it can slice their wing off, because when they're flying. So you have to be really careful. And so the fan is just off. But unfortunately, they think it's like landing pads for them. So that's been a bummer. Just not making me happy. The last thing is I have several parrotlets, and I tried adding some parrotlets to my aviary. I was going against my own rules. I have a video on how to add parrotlets or parrots into the same space when you are adding multiples. And one of my rules is that you have to put them in at the same time. So I knew I was breaking my own rule. Sweetheart, this isn't food. This is like deja vu from my last video. Don't eat my earring. No, no, no. Mwah. Mwah. You get tortured with love when you don't behave. So I added my 6 parrotlets. I think the aviary has like a dozen parrotlets, and it did not work. Now, fortunately, there was like no bloodshed or anything like that. I was there the whole time. And if I had given them more time, they might have calmed down. But, they're so funny. Parrots get territorial. I feel like people are going to say that, people say that parrotlets, you can't put 2 together in a cage, which I'm like, then how would they ever reproduce? Like, where do you think the babies come from? That's a little crazy to me when people say things that are so illogical. Now, many parrotlets in one space, that's like more of a argument we can have because, there's different factors that can affect it and stuff like that. But when you already have some that are established and they're a flock, then adding some, it's really tricky. What I really need is another aviary, and I need to take the 2 sets and put them in together. That would work better. But a flock of 12 and adding 6, it's not a recipe for not working, but it's not exactly like the greatest. It's nice when you have 2 flocks kind of thing that are bigger flocks. So I put the 6 parrotlets in, and then I had to take them back out. Just not the world's greatest day, and you know, that's what happens when you have parrots, and even when you don't, you have good days and you have not so good days. And there's my parrotlet flying by. Oh, Ma, you gotta eat some pellets. Let's try. I mean, have you ever heard of a parrot that wouldn't take seeds? It's just ridiculously crazy. Oh, I should tell you about this dish since it's right here. Here, you try to sit in here and try to eat a pellet. This is a really nice little dish. It's stainless steel, and I found it on Amazon in the baby section. It's so heavy, like they made it kind of heavy, that it doesn't tip over. So fantastic, because a lot of my parrots will go on the side of a bowl and tip it over, and then there goes their food. And I like to use this kind of bowl for something like fresh veggies. So I don't like when they do that and then all the fresh veggies fall under the railing. So I was trying to use this to get her to eat some pellets. But it's not working because it's just not my day. Hi, sweetie. Hi, Purple Rain. I have a series of rains. Raindrop, Purple Rain. Hi, Purple Rain. All right. Thank you for joining me in this blissful video on a not perfectly blissful day, because not every day can be perfect. Until next time, if you have any comments or questions about parrots, please be sure to comment below. Thank you for watching the ads. Thanks for letting me share my bliss, and please be sure to like and subscribe. Share the video. If you enjoy my videos, one of the best things you could do for me, in addition to getting my book, I forgot to tell you about my book, is to like and subscribe. Now, in case you don't know, I'm Kaylin, the author of the Parrot Bliss Bond, but I'm also just a bit of a writer. I'm not like this incredible, prolific writer like, I don't know, Hemingway, or I have this one friend, he's got a silver pen. Everything he writes is fantastic. I wish I had the gift of writing that way. I don't, but I did write a novel, Cake by the Ocean. It's available on Amazon. I wrote it a little while ago. It doesn't have parrots in it, so it's not as good as it could be. But there you go, because I do like writing. So I thought I would start to tell you about my novel. I love it. She decides that life in the U.S. isn't working for her. She's going to go live in St. Martin and like have a nice tropical fun life. So check it out. It's a fun read. Thank you for joining me in this creative writer video, but not blissful day. Tomorrow will be better. Thanks. See you next time.